Hey, happy Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. May 7th, 2021. This is Morning Joey. I'm your host, Joey Molinaro. Hope your day's off to a great start. Getting ready for the weekend. Hope the connection is a little bit better here in the studio today. I know we had some problems yesterday. I apologize for that. I don't want to blame anybody. It's not my place to blame anybody. I apologize. For those watching on YouTube, good morning to you. Remember to subscribe, hit that red button below, like the video. You guys have been doing it more and more. I really, really appreciate that. Continue to do it. Those watching on Twitter, good morning to you as well. Hope your day's off to a great start. Don't forget, support the YouTube channel. Go over youtube.com/c/cupofjoey. Subscribe below there. Like the video. I thank you. Appreciate you. It's my last day in New York City. It's been a great week. Seen a lot of people that I wanted to see, talked to a lot of people that I wanted to talk to. Did some good work. It's always nice to be back in the office, to be back in New York City. I love New York City. Being a small town kid from Indy, it's always wild to be out here and to think that I work here. But it's been a great week. Wrapping it up strong here. Good morning to all of you. Got a big show today. We're going to look back. I'm just down the street from Madison Square Garden where it happened 26 years ago. I've been doom and gloom on the Pacers the past few days, and rightfully so. But I'm going to have a few bright spots to talk about with the Pacers, one of them being the 26th anniversary of Reggie Miller, 8 points, 8.9 seconds at the Garden right down the street against the New York Knicks, 1995, May 7th, 1995. I wasn't even 2 years old. So I have no recollection of it happening live, but obviously it's a part of Indiana lore, and I remember it greatly, and I remember it fondly. So we'll look back at that. Got the Glazing 5. At Dunkin Donuts. I know you're probably saying, but Joey, that's not a local place. That's not a local shop. You know, it's kind of a chain. I realize that. Okay. I realize that. And you know what? It's just a matter of circumstance. A lot of the local type of bakeries and donut shops here in New York are temporarily closed. So it hasn't been too easy to get to one. And so that's why I said, you know what? We'll go to Dunkin' because there's one at every fucking block in the city. So do that. I have a contentious laundry list, okay? A contentious laundry list that I want to hear from you about because Friday shows belong to you just as much as they belong to me. So I want to hear from you, and it's the cover band bar songs. So think about it. When you're at a bar or you're at a place with live music and you got Alex and Richie or whoever the fuck you got them, whoever the fuck up there on the stage, and they're, wanting to, hey, we're Alex and we're Richie and we're the Pilot Stipple Tones, and get us a shot. And then they go into a band. We got one more. Here we go. One more. Those 5 songs. What are the 5 songs, the 5 top ones that get the crowd going, that get you going, that get you wanting to scream singing at the top of your lungs that you know every word to, or you think you know every word to. So that's coming up. I'm really, really excited. Clint, what up, dude? Oh, bring your rich butt back here and buy us all a shot. I went to Central Park yesterday, and I had to go to the place at Mr. Deeds when Adam Sandler and Winona Ryder are riding down there on their bikes, after the guys are like, score is for fours, look at me, ha, 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 ha. And then they transition and they go down the stairs down to the Bethesda Fountain in Central Park. And then they sit there before they go join the firefighters. So me and the wife went down there, and that was really, really cool. I actually sent Clint a picture of that, and I knew that he would appreciate that. So I'm glad that Mile High Mets said this, Joey something. So my buddy, Uncle Colin Cowherd, has a podcast that he does outside of the herd every single day. And Clint, you'll appreciate this. I get some messages this morning I wake up to that are like, Cowherd shouted you out this morning. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like, he's talked about me before. But I went and listened, and I'll put it out there. I'll put the clip out there. He does this segment on Fridays where he makes up questions. That's called fake questions, real answers. So he or his team makes up questions, and then he answers them for 5 or 10 minutes on the show. And one of the questions was, Colin, do you see people who do impersonations of you, and what do you think about them, or something like that? And so, of course, Cowherd was like, I've seen them. I know them. There's this kid at Barstool, Joey something. I think he's very funny, very talented. He has me done pretty good. He's the first one that I ever laughed at when I saw it. So Mile High Mets right there says Joey something, because whenever Cowherd talks about me, he just absolutely refuses to know my last name or to say my last name. I don't know if it's just because he doesn't know how to say it. He doesn't want to get it wrong. My guess is that Uncle Colin's just kind of like, hey, fuck you, kid. You're not big enough yet to know your last name, which is fine. You know, he has a fair point there. So it's always cool. I appreciate the shout out from him. This guy I've listened to for a long time, obviously, and a big fan of, even though, you know, I disagree with some of his takes sometimes, or his opinions. But yeah, he refuses to say my last name. I have like 3 goals in life, you know, to be a good dad, to retire in Florida, and to you know, fucking get Colin Cowherd to say my last name. So we'll see if we can get that done. But I'll put it out on my socials later. I'll just like screen record it from his podcast and put it out there. So if you don't follow me on social media, you know, at Joey Molinaro is where you can follow me. But so that happened this morning, and then last night it really took over and had a bunch of people sending it to me, and it was everywhere on the internet, and rightfully so. But Nick Saban really went ham. Talk about having a personality. Coach Saban finally putting out a little personality here in the offseason. He was at some speaking event last night, and somebody asked him about Jimbo Fisher's recent comments. And if you missed that, Jimbo Fisher, the coach of Texas A&M, was asked about, you know, playing Nick Saban and are they ever going to get it done? And hold on, I'm trying to pause this. There we go. You know, are they ever going to get it done against Alabama or whatever? Does Nick Saban need to be out for them to beat Alabama? And Jimbo Fisher just said, you know, oh no, we're going to beat his ass. I'll beat his ass while he's here. And he just said that, you know, he'll beat his ass while he's there. So then last night at this event that Saban is at and he's speaking at, of course he has, you know, some media availability afterwards. And of course it gets brought up. And here is what he had to say on the Jimbo Fisher comment.
Coach, got to ask, your friend Jimbo said yesterday that at some point while you're in Tuscaloosa, he was going to beat your butt. That wasn't the word that he used, but did you have any response for that?
In golf?
I think he meant on the football field.
Well, I'm sure there'll come a day, you know, but is that what he was talking about? Football?
He was talking about football.
He was? He used to be on my noontime basketball league, I guess. You know, we're no longer partners, you know, when it comes to that. Coach. Now, they have a really good team, really good program, and
Dude. Cocky Nick Saban, man. Oh my God. This is incredible. First of all, I love how the reporter doesn't, you know, she's so professional. God love her. She doesn't use ass. She like pauses for a second and is like, but.
Coach, got to ask, your friend Jimbo said yesterday that at some point while you're in Tuscaloosa, he was going to beat your butt. That wasn't the word that
didn't know. Wanted to say ass. Didn't do it though.
Going to beat your butt. That wasn't the word that he used, but did you have any response for that?
In golf?
I think he meant on the football field.
Well, I'm sure there'll come a day, you know.
The cockiest look of all time.
I think he meant on the football field.
Well, I'm sure there'll come a day, you know.
The laugh and the look aside as if, wow, how can this guy say something like that, man? Oh, my God. That's like when your little brother, you know, is talking about how or you're talking to your dad about how you're going to beat him and pick up basketball, you know, and then it's like, yeah, I got him. I think I finally got him. And then your dad's just like, yeah, one of these days. Yeah. At some point, right, son?
I think he meant on the football field.
Well, I'm sure there'll come a day, but is that what he's talking about?
Yeah,
Football?
He was talking about football.
He was? Well, he used to be on my noontime basketball league. I guess, we're no longer partners, when it comes to that. Now, they have a really good team, really good program. And
dude, and Frank Caliendo's like, we talked about it, and when you go back and watch this interview, Caliendo was like, I think he might have said program once, and you just ran with it. He's like, I don't think he says that all the time. He 1,000% says program.
When it comes to that. Now, they have a really good team, really good program, and, they're getting better and better all the time. And there's a lot of challenges in the SEC, and they're certainly one of the up-and-coming programs, and he's always been a great coach, did a great job for us when he was with us, and he's had a great career as a head coach. So, it's going to be a challenge for us, no doubt, when we have to play him.
Dude, so full of shit, and he knows it. Can't even look the reporter in the eye. Can't even look any of them in the eye because he knows that he's in his head. Saban is saying this stuff out loud, but in his head, Saban just like, y'all know we're going to beat their ass by 50 points again, all right? No, I'm going to say they got a good program because I got to say that right now, but I know that we're going to run over them like shit through a tin horn, all right?
In the SEC, and they're certainly one of the up-and-coming programs, and he's always been a great coach, did a great job for us when he was with us, and he's had a great career as a head coach. So, it's going to be a challenge for us, no doubt, when we have to play him.
Oh, yeah, Coach. So convincing there, man. So convincing there, Coach Saban. It's going to be a real tough challenge when we got to play them. They have a good program. Johnny Manziel beat us, 10 years ago? But it's going to be a tough challenge. So, y'all can write what you want to write, all right? But they got a really good program, and it's going to be tough. So full of shit, Coach Saban. But I love that, man. I love when Saban shows a little personality. Saban is the ultimate, the teacher that you have in high school where like the first semester, that teacher is a fucking asshole. Like you can't get away with shit with this teacher the first semester. I mean, he will, or she, like they will. I just say he because there's this one that I had when I was a junior. His name was Mr. Walters, English teacher. And dude, he was the strictest MF I've ever had as a teacher. First semester, it was like you walked in and you were like fucking buttoned up. I mean, like you didn't even want to slouch because he was just going to be like, attention, or just like bitch you out. So he got you in order. But then the third quarter, second semester, then all of a sudden Mr. Walters would show a little personality. And it was like, oh, okay, Mr. Walters, this is cool. Yeah, we can joke around? All right. That's Saban, man. Saban, and it's that way with his program. It's that way with the media. It's that way with everybody. That he locks in, and he gets you in line. He gets you in order, and then once he disciplines you and forms you into the way that he wants you to be formed, then he lets up a little bit. And then he gets a little bit of personality. And then everybody's like, oh, all right. I don't have to be scared for my life. This is great. But I'll tell you what. You got to be ready because at any given time, he going to run some shit and you're going to run your mouth. And then all of a sudden, I don't have time for it. Does Jimbo have a documentary? I didn't see him play. I was too busy winning another national title. In golf, I'm sure he had plenty of time to focus on golf because I was too busy winning a national title when he was out there at Pebblestone playing more golf, all right? Oh, shit. I love Coach Saban, man. I love Coach Saban. It's hard not to. He's got personality. See, that's what I love about you, Coach Saban. You got a personality. So cocky Nick Saban. That was amazing. It's pretty cool. I am literally like a block. I walk out the front door of my place of employment. I look to my right, and I can see Madison Square Garden. And so it's super, super awesome to think about, 26 years ago tonight. Today, I think, actually, Rico Bosco was saying it was a day game, and he's older than me. So on Pick Central, he was talking about we were talking about the anniversary of it. He was saying that it was a day game. He said he got tickets for that for his first communion. Pacers-Knicks playoffs for first communion. It's incredible. I got like a fucking kid's Bible and, some rosary that I never used. But at least I could receive the body of Christ. But yeah, you're saying it was a day game. So like 26 years ago today, Reggie Miller, 8 points, 8.9 seconds, legendary. That's a bright spot for the Pacers. That is a bright spot for the Pacers, man, because the past few days have been anything but that. Last night, they got a good win. Last night, they got a decent win. What I need to do, because on Wednesday night, I picked the Pacers. They lost in terrible fashion. And then yesterday, on Pick Central, I picked against the Pacers. And they come out and they win. So you got 26th anniversary of 8 points and 8.9 seconds. Reggie Miller at the Garden. This is for you, Indiana. Love it. Go watch it. I'm not going to play it, but go watch it again for yourself. And then another bright spot for the Pacers, and I tweeted about it last night, is Caris LeVert, man. They traded for him in that huge 3-4 team deal. The old Depot going to Houston. If you guys going to Cleveland, we got LeVert from Brooklyn. And we drafted Levert and then traded him to Brooklyn originally. So Kevin Pritchard is always like this guy. And last night, and he had that health scare. Thank God they found that and found it in time. And he's back and he's healthy with that mass that was on his kidney. But this guy needs to be taken care of. This guy is a bright spot for the Indiana Pacers. This guy is a guy that you can build around. Tear it all down besides him and maybe Sabonis and Miles. See, that's the thing, is that I talk myself into it more and more because you look and you got a guy like Levert. You got a guy Domas. You got a guy when Miles Turner. Those are three really, really good young players that you can build around. But at the very least, you have to take care of Caris LeVert. The dude's a stud. 31 points last night. He was one of the best scorers on the Nets before he got traded. He was coming off the bench there. I mean, this is one of those instances where you have to go out of your way to make sure that, he's not going to want to leave to take somewhere else. He's going to want to stay. He's going to want to have a team here that he can win with. He's going to want, you're going to pay him to where he's going to want to stay, because I loved it when they traded for him, and I still love it right now. In my mind, you're giving up Old Depot and you're getting, before the health scare with that mass, you're getting a healthier, younger, honestly better and a better scorer in Caris LeVert than you are Victor Oladipo, without all the other bullshit and Victor Oladipo's nonsense off the court of does he want to be here? Is he here? Is he rapping? Like, what is it? You don't have to deal with any of that. So I've been hard. I've been doom and gloom on the Pacers the past few days, and I think rightfully so. But last night I'm watching and I'm saying, you got to take care of this dude. You got to keep Caris LeVert happy. You got to keep him here because he is that guy. He is the dude. Oh, no. That's a bummer. You don't have one at your place of work, Adam Sandler 2.0? You got to get it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bummer because, I don't know if that's the case. I guess if you're thinking about just totally blowing up and restarting like I've suggested, then yeah, probably. But I feel like if you get a new coaching staff in there, you get the right guy in there, especially after that report that came out yesterday, I guess they just threw a dart at the wall with Bjorken and were like, this guy, sure. Yeah, that works. I mean, what are they doing? I'm a Kevin Pritchard guy through and through. It's my dude, but like, what is the process there? And what's great about Sabonis and Turner is, they are both good players. Sabonis is really good. Miles is a good player, and they both bring different things. Sabonis kind of facilitates the offense, and he can bang down low. Turner, that's not Turner. Miles wants to stay outside, hit some threes, block some shots, and that's what he is, and that's what he does, and that's fine. But if they're going to blow it up, then I would assume that, eventually one of them has to. But it's not all bad with the Pacers. I know I've been ripping them, saying they're dead, and for the most part, they are. But there's an ever so slight inkling of hope when it comes to a guy like Chris Levert, because he's a star. And he can really play. All right, let's get into it. This week's Glazing 5, and then I'm going to pull up the Cowherd clip for after. Hit a Dunkin Donuts, and I think you'll be surprised. Yeah, I think you'll like it. Here we go. Glazing 5, Dunkin Donuts. All right, we do it every Friday. It's the Glazing 5 in New York City for the final day on Friday. And, circumstances just made it to where I had to run on Dunkin'. Yeah. I tried to go to a Krispy Kreme in Madison Square Garden, but that was shut down. And so I said, you know what? I haven't found any local places that are right by the office. I tried to go to one yesterday. It was temporarily closed as well. So I said, hey, I haven't really done a chain yet, and when you're out east, they're on every block. Literally every block. And so you can't miss a Dunkin' Donuts. So I said, all right, let's go with Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin', apparently. Plenty in New York. Obviously, you think of Boston. Yeah, Harvard Yard. I don't know. I just got a little Pittsburgh in there. Root for the Sox. Go get some Dunkin'. Bad Boston accent. Anyways. So they gave me 2 blueberry cake, a glazed, a chocolate glazed, a white sprinkle icing, and a chocolate covered glazed. So, again, in Indianapolis, Dunkin', it's come on more in the past 10 or 15 years, but growing up, Dunkin' was not a thing. I kind of vividly remember the first time that we had a Dunkin' Donuts in Indy. And I was like, oh, wow. So it doesn't just exist on the movies and on Law and Order and out in Boston. It comes here. And I was excited about it. And, I don't hate it too much, but I think that, Dunkin' gets a little bit of a bad rap. I feel like people kind of are like, oh, it's an eye roll. Oh, it's such a chain. Oh, yeah, Dunkin', they got, there's just so many of them. There's no way it can be a good product. I don't know if I necessarily agree. Every time that I've had Dunkin', I really, really enjoyed it. So let's get into it. You know how we start every Friday, the Glazing 5 with the blueberry cake, and it looks to be a good one. It's a really good blueberry cake. Some of the places we've been to, they've gone hard on the cake, soft on the blueberry. Some of the places that we've been to, like Mary Lou and West Lafayette, have gone really hard on the cake texture and the blueberry. Dunkin' does a nice job of making it to where it's a softer cake, still plenty of blueberry, but the cake itself doesn't have that much crunch. It borders on, kind of a glazed donut, but that's a really good blueberry cake. All right, let's go with the chocolate glaze. Now, where I come from, we call this devil's cake, I believe. Devil's Glazed at Long's. They have this kind of thing, and the chocolate glazed from Dunkin. That's a treat. It's almost like more of a dessert than it would be considered. And a lot of people, my wife included, my friends, donuts are desserts. They're not breakfast. I'm like, no, when you think of breakfast, you think of like coffee and donuts. After church on Sundays, they say, oh yeah, in the atrium we have, coffee and orange juice and donuts. They don't say we have coffee and orange juice and, bacon and eggs, which that is also breakfast, but donuts are breakfast. But this could legitimately be served with like vanilla ice cream. Maybe want to think about it. Next time you go to Dunkin' or somewhere that has chocolate glazed, get it. Eat the rest of the donuts for breakfast time. Hold off on that one until later. Dump it in the ice cream for dessert. I love these kind of coffee cups. It just, it's like back when McDonald's used to have the styrofoam cups instead of the plastic ones they have now. It just feels like it makes a drink taste better when you're drinking coffee out of a cup like this. Think about it. All right, let's go to the white sprinkles. The, what do you call it? Vanilla, I guess, topping. This is more the glaze. It's not the cake. So you got a nice soft donut here. Pretty fresh. Went in the morning this time. I'm not a big sprinkles guy. They don't do a whole lot for me. They're mostly just decoration in my mind. They're the wide receivers of the donut. But this donut itself with the icing, very good. All right, so Dunkin' Donuts. I'd say Dunkin' is a lot like the Red Sox, the Yankees, highly regional. Everybody up there, highly regional. They have a tendency to kind of look down on other places because there's so many, they're so big. Highly regional with a national brand, and whether you like it or not, they're always going to be around. That's this week's Glazing 5. We do it every Friday. See you next week. Hey, Glazing 5 Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, that was really good. It's a shame, but it's, they don't say America runs in Dunkin' for nothing. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I cut off my end card there. So that's a bummer because that's a nice little ending to the video. But what are you going to do? All right, let's get into it. Laundry list. I got to retweet this now. Laundry list of cover band bar songs. So think about it. You're at your local pub. It's a Friday night. It's a Thursday night. It's a Saturday during the day. Whatever the fuck it is. You're at that place, and they have live music. Got a band, 3 or 4 dudes, a lady, lead singer, whatever. And they're playing music. And the inspiration behind this is actually Reeks, my coworker. We were sitting at Factory 380 on Wednesday night, and they had a live band there on Cinco de Mayo. And Reeks was like, hey, here's your next list. Cover band bar songs. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, that'll be good. So we started rattling some of them off. And we started rattling some of them off. And I was like, yeah, this is going to get really contentious, but it's going to be really, really good. And so I'm going to retweet this link. Here we go. On your list, cover band bar songs now. All right. Just retweeted it. Get some action in here in the comments. Laundry list cover band bar songs. So just as I explained it, let's say like in Indy, you're at Tin Roof, or at New York, you're at the Factory 380, or at Wrigleyville, you're at the Cubby Bear, and the songs that come on, songs that they play, you're like, oh yes, this is the one. I'm getting into it. I'm singing. Everybody's singing. It's it's awesome, right? So number 5, laundry list cover band bar songs. Only Want to Be With You, Hootie and the Blowfish. Think about it. It is the 90s. It is a sing-along if I've ever heard it. It is something that I'm only going to play for a little bit because I don't want to get copyright on here. But you know the song.
Did you know you can go to Liberty Mutual?
Down. Jesus is coming on, people. Woo! I want to be with you. So 90s, it hurts. 25-year anniversary in 2019. So yeah, 1994, year after I was born. So 90s, it is painful. Number 5, Hootie and the Blowfish. And you can put a lot of Hootie and the Blowfish songs up there, I think. But Only Want to Be With You stands out to me, definitely. I don't want to be with you, and nothing was fun. I don't want to be with you. Number 5, Only Want to Be With You, Hootie and the Blowfish. Number 4, this one would be tough. I think you got to have the right band. You have the right cover band for this. You have to have the right group in there who can pull this song off. I Write Sins and Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco. That intro part with the I don't know what it is. Is it a guitar? Oh, well, in fact, that song goes hard, and you know it. And to sing along, and it's like in middle school, you're always like, man, the kind of emo kids really like that song a lot. But you liked it low key, you were really excited about it. And like when it came on MTV or like your local music video TV station, you were like, yeah, I'm going to leave this on. And then now you can finally let it out because everybody's singing it. You're so fucking mad, dude. People hit that note so hard when you're out at a bar and somebody's playing the song, whether it be live or whether it be they're coming on the touch tunes. People hit the What a Beautiful Wedding so hard. Everybody does. Dude, I know, mainframe hacker. I'm sorry. I hate it, but I don't have it yet. And then you have this part. Knows that part, and then when the guitar and the drums bang in, people are head head bobbing and they're jumping around and going crazy. It's a great time. Number 4, Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Number 3, a little bit of punk rock throwback here. My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. When you hear this guitar riff coming at the beginning, you're heading to the dance floor. Again, another one that's just the build up, and then when it comes to the chorus, it's just something that everybody can just belt at the top of their lungs, dude. Here it comes. I had a scene when it was like the weekend before St. Patrick's Day, and me and my good buddy were at Tin Roof, and they were playing this song, and it was like, dude, it was just like euphoria, you know? It was like almost like a movie moment. Like everybody was just out and just singing it, and like the whole bar was singing it, and you were just letting it out, man. It was fantastic. So number 3, Lit, My Own Worst Enemy. Gotta love it. Number 2, could get contentious here. This is where, number 2, number 1, I feel good about it. But yeah, here we go. Number 2, Mr. Brightside by The Killers. I don't even have to play it because everybody knows it. It's become really popularly like made fun of on TikTok and Twitter and everything about like, oh yeah, this is like a white person anthem or whatever. Like, hey, only white people love the, like, you want to get people going. You want to get white people going, just turn on Mr. Brightside. Fairly true, can't deny it, but it is. I mean, it is an absolute banger, especially for live music when you're out somewhere. It's a great sing along. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. I said it to Reegs. I was like, is it almost too obvious though that like you don't put it on there because it's so obvious that it's not on the top 5? He's like, nah, man. Like that's, it's like for Star Wars not having I Am Your Father on top moments. Like it's on the list. It is the list. It needs to be on there. I was like, you know what? That's fair. I can get behind that. And then number 1, I'm really interested to see how they go about this on Twitter. I am. Because I think that people are either going to like 1000% going to be on board or going to be like, how can that be your number 1? It's too slow. But number 1 for me, I think, I put it down so I know. Number 1 is Take Me Home, Country Roads. Now, if you're just talking, and then this is what this list kind of is to me. If you're just talking like sing along, good feel at the bar, everybody knows it, even if you don't know it. Everybody's chiming in when it comes on. It's Take Me Home, Country Roads. And it's like a song that brings people together. Even if you're not in West Virginia or even if you don't know anything about that. Take me home to the place I belong. Putting your arm around your friend. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Whole bar going, you can hear it. Country roads. Even the dude who doesn't like music like that at all, like only likes rap, you know what I mean? Like only knows the latest from Lil Baby or Da Baby or whatever. Take Me Home, Country Roads, number 1. That's an emotional number 1 right there. I'm sure I probably have a little bit of a bias because like it's very popular at Harry's at Purdue, been in there multiple times when that song comes on, and like it almost feels like the whole bar stops. And everybody's just singing it, even the workers, everybody takes like their stop and everybody's singing like in there in like Whoville and the Grange. Doris, take me home, country road. And then they go back to work right after it's done. But yeah. Cover band bar songs, laundry list on a Friday. Only want to be with you. Hootie, number 5. Number 4, I Write Sins, Not Tragedies, Panic at the Disco. 3, My Own Worst Enemy. 2, Mr. Brightside. 1, Take Me Home, Country Roads. Only wanna be with you. What was number 1? No, it was number 5. Hootie and the Blowfish, Only Want to Be With You. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe at a wedding. Maybe if we were doing wedding songs, but at a bar, I don't know about I don't know about Sweet Caroline. Number 1 was Country Roads. Take Me Home, Country Roads, Andrew. Yeah, Wagon Wheel's definitely on there. Don't Stop Believing. And just Don't Stop Believing. That's more of a wedding song too. But, rock me, mama, like a wagon. Rock me, mama, in the way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. That's on there for sure. Honorable mention. What's the one that was really popular? About like broken hearts and football, long neck. Oh, long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Run football season up my streets, so I ain't let a man in the park. Yeah, Andrew. Now you know, baby. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. That's a big one. But it's like so country, dude. It's like so Nashville that I just can't get behind it fully. I don't know why. Tears Don't Fall by Bullet for My Valentine. Bar metal song. I don't know anything about metal, man. Tennessee Whiskey? That's a wedding song, man. Isn't that Chris Stapleton, Tennessee Whiskey? It's that is too slow. That is a slow dance song. Take Me Home, Country Roads is just like a unifying like group sing along song. Tennessee Whiskey is like a slow dance song. And I think it's a great tune. I thought about making that my first dance song with my wife. But then I went against it because I was like, I'm not country enough. I'm not like, I'm not Nashville enough for that. Yeah, Piano Man. I mean, you could probably get some Billy Joel on there for sure. You could get some. I'm trying to think of. Would cover bands play We Didn't Start the Fire? I love We Didn't Start the Fire, man. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's returned. Yeah, that reminds me of that movie, Donnie, the Take Me Home Tonight movie. Orion started the fire. That's good. What else? What else are some honorable mentions? What's a one that would be an honorable mention, but it just didn't go hard enough for me, is Valerie by Amy Winehouse. Everybody covers that song and everybody sings it at a bar. And it's a nice transition piece, It's a nice one to kind of let everybody take a breather for a second, but also you can sing because it's such a catchy tune. I was walking on Tuesday night. I was walking through New York and there was a band playing outdoors at an outdoor spot and they were singing Valerie. And then on Wednesday night, the spot that we were at, they did Valerie as well. And so I'm like, this is a big time bar song for live music. And it's a great song. But I was just like, I don't know if it cracks the top 5, because to me, you go like, I Write Sins Not Tragedies. And everybody's, jumping around, and, they're starting to sweat and everything. And then that song ends. And then they put on Valerie. And everybody's like, oh, I like this song, but I'm going to go to the bathroom. Or I'm going to go to get another drink at the bar. Or I'm just going to take a breather and kind of like, Valerie. And then when one of the other ones on the list, when Mr. Brightside comes on, then they're like running back out to the floor, Nice call. Yeah. Friends in Low Places. That's a good one. Not up my alley, but I'm sure it'll make a lot of people's lists, no doubt. Pink Houses. Oh. I don't know. Well, who's that by, Kevin? I'm not sure. Yeah, man, that's a pretty nice call. All American Rejects have a few. Move Along, and then they have what's that other one that they have? Gives You Hell. It Ends Tonight. Dirty Little Secret. All those are like they could be played at a bar, and you're like, oh, okay, you're kind of going hard. Yeah, Donnie, I think Bohemian Rhapsody is a good one. Definitely sing along. But I think it's something that would have to be like remixed. You know, like you'll play that for a little bit and then you go into something else. I don't know if you could do the whole thing. You know, because everybody wants to like do. I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche. Like everybody wants to do that, but then you kind of like fade it into something else. Yeah, I'm just kind of over living on the prayer and don't stop believing, you know. Yeah, Keith, the Celine Dion song from Titanic, like that, and then like when it's like Christmas time or like randomly if a band plays it, All I Want for Christmas Is You, that can get people going. Like at my sister's wedding, it was September 7th at my sister's wedding. And yeah, September 7th at my sister's wedding. And the DJ put on, it was requested by one of their friends who was in the wedding party for them to put on All I Want for Christmas Is You. And it was a fucking banger, dude. Everybody was singing it. And that was September 7th. So you can put random ones of that in there. Yeah, Russell, YMCA, that's a wedding. That's wedding. That's not bar. You know, what could go both ways. Both wedding and at a bar. I know there's going to be an ad. Just thought of this one. Like you have that one, Dancing in the Moonlight. Those are two that I think could cross over bar and wedding. Yeah, man, it's a fun list. I'm excited to put this out on Twitter. See what people say. I need to do something with like honorable mentions in there too, because there's always ones that would make like the top 10. But when you're doing laundry list of 5, that's tough. So yeah, recapping for everybody one more time. Only Want to Be With You, Hootie, number 5. Number 4, I Write Sins Not Tragedies, Panic at the Disco. 3, My Own Worst Enemy. 2, Mr. Brightside. And 1, Take Me Home, Country Roads. There you go. Put it out on Twitter. Debate, debacle, laundry list. You know what to do. You know what to do. So, hey, I appreciate you guys waking up with me each and every day. I'm going to get out of here. Got to film some videos. I got to check out at noon. New York's been awesome. I hope you have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Call your mom. Tell her you love her. Take her out for lunch. Get her some flowers. At least call her. So I know I'm going to be doing that with my mom and my mother-in-law. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to do that for your mom. Subscribe to the channel below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, that's all right as well. Go over to youtube.com/c/cupofjoey to subscribe on there. We continue to grow the channel. I'm here every single day at 9 a.m. Daily content here on this channel as well. So have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day. And I'll talk to you back in Indy on Monday, live at 9.